Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Service Dealer 30th Anniversary Awards. Thank you very much. With all the hard work out of the way today, these awards are very much the night the industry comes together. And I think it's a really fitting way to follow on from what was a fantastic day today at our 4th dealer conference. Thank you again to all our panellists and participants. A big thank you to this evening's sponsors, Cramp, Stihl, Husqvarna, Etizia, Honda, Kubota and Catalyst. We've been really well supported today and this evening for supporting us and helping us to recognise brilliance within our industry. As far as our awards go, the competition is fierce. To give you just an idea of this, as you know, we limit our awards to around 8 in total, and that's not just so we can get to the bar quicker, honestly, but also so that our awards are competitive and we truly celebrate the very best in our industry. So, with just 8 contested awards, we received nearly 900 customer feedback forms, which is absolutely tremendous and testament to you guys. We are tonight supporting an incredible charity, which is based just down the road in Oxford. Helen and Douglas House was the world's first ever children's hospice and helps local families cope with the challenges of looking after a terminally ill baby, child or young adult. TAP has been supporting this charity for a few years now, and I had the privilege of being shown round a couple of years ago. As a parent, you can imagine that's pretty tough. But I came out of there absolutely overwhelmed with just how much positivity, support and love that I had seen. Now last year we supported Maggie's, which, because one of the service dealer team had received some fantastic support from them. For similar reasons this year, one of our team was delighted to hear that we were supporting Helen and Douglas House. So again, we just wanted to say thank you and support them back. It's as simple as that. On your tables will be some envelopes. If you would like to support Helen and Douglas House and all the great work that they do, please dig deep and put your donation into the envelope and write your name and company on the outside. If you have any questions regarding the charity, then Alison is here on the table. Alison, would you mind just standing up for a second so people know who you are? Alison is here for the charity, and I'm sure she'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you, Alison. So please could you nominate one person from the table to collect the envelopes and hand it into a TAP representative before the end of the meal. That would be absolutely fantastic. If you would like to make a business donation, then invoices and later payment can be arranged. And some of the manufacturers here were incredibly supportive last year. Thank you very much for that, and we can do the same this year. Please just mark the amount on and the details on the envelope. Importantly, these envelopes with donations will then be entered into our free prize draw. And at the end of the award ceremony, we've got 3 absolutely major prizes which are being displayed tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, we have a unique sports package comprising of a signed golf cap by Eddie Pepperell, who's, if you follow golf, he's very big up-and-coming star on the European circuit at the moment. We have a rugby ball and shirt signed by the whole Leicester Tigers team. And may I thank Stihl once again for supporting us with that this year. Many, obviously, international players in that squad. Secondly, we have a posh pamper pack, ladies and gentlemen, comprising of a Waitrose hamper, a bottle of Pimm's, Gordon's gin, Moët Chandon, plus some spa tickets and overnight accommodation from the hotel. Thirdly, we have our very own Giggle Pack, comprising of a pair of tickets to see the very funny Romesh Ranganathan at a venue near you-ish. And that's courtesy of our compere tonight, Charlie Baker. I believe he's on a big national tour, isn't he, at the moment?
Much more successful than me.
Much more than, no, I'm sure he's not more successful than you, but anyway, I'm sure he'll be touring near you. So we've got a couple of tickets to see him. And also we have quite a number, actually, of craft beers from the Loose Cannon Brewery, which is a local brewery in Abingdon, and matching glasses, plus some lovely wine courtesy of Laithwaites, which all will help the giggling, of course. So 3 fabulous prizes on offer, the most amazing charity to support. What, ladies and gentlemen, is not to like? May I remind the tweeters amongst you, please do include hashtag ServiceDealer18 and check out @ServiceDealer to follow our conversation. Now, we thought it would be a very good idea to give you a little break from me this year, especially if you've been with us at the conference. At the conference today. So tonight's awards will be hosted by a very funny guy. As well as being the pride of Newton Abbot, did I pronounce that right? Newton Abbot, yep. Charlie Baker is well known on the stand-up circuit. Charlie's been seen on TV as himself on Nevermind the Buzzcocks, The Rob Brydon Show, Let's Dance for Sport Relief, The Great British Bake Off, and Extra Slice, amongst other things. He's also acted in The IT Crowd, Miranda, Doctor Who, and EastEnders, plus appeared in the film The Boy in Striped Pyjamas. So we are blessed to have the pride of Newton Abbot with us, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to be back at the end of the night, but in the meantime, good luck to all our nominees, and please, I'd like just to ask you to fill your glasses and enjoy your night, because this is... Wow, fabulous. Charlie, thank you very much. I think Charlie, as you can, as I'm sure you've gathered, he's a bit shy and retiring, obviously, so for his confidence, let's give him a massive round of applause. Thank you, Charlie. Right, this is the final furlong, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll be hitting that room just over there. As I said, our awards are selective, just 8 contested awards in total, and as such, very, very competitive. So many congratulations to all of tonight's winners, and well done again to our finalists. And obviously a very big congratulations, guys, to you guys at Gateways. Well done, big achievement. Thank you to Keith Christian from Bagma and also Chris Biddle, who gave up their time to join Steve and I on the Service Dealer Awards judging panel again this year. Like any successful venture, much work goes on behind the scenes, and I'd very quickly just like to acknowledge the editorial team's hard work this year, headed up by editor Steve Gibbs, who's really growing into that editorial role at Service Dealer. He is supported by our specialist and very well-respected editorial panel, Martin, Ron, Lawrence and Adam. I would also like to thank Emmy Jenkins. I don't think he's here this year, but Emmy's been doing the Diary of a Season this year, and I've certainly followed it with interest. And it's great to see, from a dealer's mouth, so to speak, what's going on, a real barometer of the industry. The magazine and today's events are compiled by the team at TAP, and they've been doing an amazing job. Thanks very much to Nikki, Alex, and our newest team member, Michelle. And a welcome to Michelle as well. She's new to the team. Regarding today's events and this evening's, Susan, Jenny and Nikki have been working so incredibly hard, as you can imagine, to make sure that today and this evening runs as smoothly as possible. So just a very big thank you, ladies. Thank you very much indeed. Some of you also might know that Susan sadly is leaving us, and she's been with us a couple of years, and she's been lured back to the bright city lights of London. Traitor! Susan, you know that you're really going to be missed, and I know you won't be a stranger because we drink in the same pub, but thank you for everything, for being part of what you've done over the last 2 years. A final thank you again to our sponsors this evening, to Cramp, Stihl, Husqvarna, Etizia, Honda, Kubota and Catalyst. We've really been, as I said earlier, we've been supported very, very well, and their support is very much appreciated. And of course to all of us here who bought tickets to be with us tonight. Thank you once again to Malcolm over to my left and his wonderful AV crew. Thank you Malcolm. and the Oxford Belfry staff. Obviously, I know Charlie gave them a shout out earlier on. And our photographer, Peter Fleming, who is coolly standing in the corner here. Peter, he's a very good photographer. I know I've said this before, I do give him a little plug every year. He does quite a lot of work in our industry, and he's very good. He's also a very lovely fellow as well. So if you do have a photography brief that might be in the back of your mind that might be coming up, please do grab a card off him. That would be fantastic. One important notice, obviously, that I have to give out at this stage is that the bar just outside will be closing at midnight. But please don't worry, the residence bar is going to be open until late, and you'll remember that it's located up near that front reception area. You'll remember from last year, some of you won't, obviously. If you are staying at the Oxfordshire, then there'll be a bus running back there at midnight, and then a later one again at 1 a.m. So there are a couple of buses laid on for you. I closed last year's awards by just running through how important SME businesses like ours are. It may indeed making up over half of the UK's gross domestic product. I shouldn't just say GDP. And employing 80% of the workforce in the UK. And indeed, I think Sarah, you pointed that out in your talk, but you added this £1.9 trillion. Great, so I've added that into it. Thanks, I've used that. You know, we have many values as dealers, and we know we have to adhere to in order to trade successfully. Many of which have been discussed at today's conference, and many of them they're not new. But sadly, how many of these same values relate to those people who are meant to be representing our best interests? And that's pretty much whatever country you happen to come from. Words like honesty, customer service, planning for tomorrow, delivering value, recognising dedication like we have tonight. I could go on. I heard an expression last month that pretty much stopped me in my tracks. People are now referring to this period of time as the post-truth era. I guess politicians, they've always manipulated situations and avoided answering questions, we know that, but it seems to have evolved on from that into saying pretty much anything that suits, and then just shrugging it off the next day. I guess it's then old news, and the norm seems to be us accepting it. I thought that Ed Gillespie's talk about humanity's prospects earlier were great, really, really interesting. It highlighted where we are as humans, the choices that we have to make, but also how we will overcome through technology, despite continuing to dig the biggest hole we can for ourselves. But two things have struck me. Firstly, our sector is slap bang in the middle of some of the major changes that are happening or are about to happen. Future agriculture in order to feed the world, urbanisation, the weather, robotics, it's exciting. The second thing that struck me is that we as an industry, we're not working in that post-truth environment. We stick to the value as dealers that we know we have to adhere to in order to trade successfully. Even some of our industry's key manufacturers are still privately and in some cases family owned. The world is changing rapidly, but now I am really starting to believe that our industry is beginning to seriously change with it. As tough as it was this year, and it was tough, there was a clear difference in fortunes with dealers who are offering new technology like robotic mowers and more cordless products. You know, maybe these products that not long ago were seen as the problem are now becoming part of the solution. We sincerely hope that you're going to go away from today's conference and this evening feeling positive about what you do, because you do it well. And there's no substitute for skill, knowledge, and good customer service. We just have to keep embracing the credible changes that are happening in our industry. Let the customers know we're here and keep doing what we do best. Then there is every reason that we can grow along with the changes around us. It, of course, would be nice if the bloody grass grew next year, but anyway. Thank you for supporting us tonight and helping us celebrate our 30th birthday. We have balloons and everything. Thanks again to our advertisers and sponsors who realise the value of supporting Service Dealer and the importance of balanced communication within our skilled dealer industry. So, despite all this madness that's going on around us, I would like, on behalf of the whole Service Dealer team, to wish you well for next season. And please, just keep doing what you're doing. That just leaves me to declare the awards closed and the bar open. And please, always remember to keep your glasses half full and not half empty. A very good night to you. Thank you.